right, and here with the fourth match of the finals, Uncharted 2 Nostalgia Tournament, joined again by Monster 1215, what's up, Monster?
What's up, everyone?
And Random.
What's up, guys? Good to be here.
Alright, so you guys are up 2-0 now. The first match, Temple, was a tie. Now Trainwreck.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got it.
Alright, so nice shots. I'll just start there, Random. This is my favorite map, Random. You were saying also your favorite map?
Yeah, pretty much. I love this map, but it seemed to be a dying breed, sort of, in the latter half of the game. I don't know why people in teams didn't want to play it. Probably because they can't see well, but that's no excuse. You're a pussy. Shut up.
Well, Fort ended up taking over Trainwreck as the most popular fourth map, I'd say.
Absolutely.
And, Trainwreck, I say, just got demoted to fifth because nobody wants to play Sanctuary Lost City. So
pretty much
all that happened.
Dude, I love
There's me just getting fucked. But
there.
See, our strategy for this was to get control of desert. Obviously, that's one of the biggest things in this map.
Right.
So when we started, Random tossed a nade that we've been kind of like practicing and setting up for, and then I pushed straight to desert, and I thought I put enough bullets in Wesker, but I mean this game is
no bullets are enough for Wesker.
Yeah, this game is weird sometimes.
Just kidding, Wesker.
It didn't. The plan didn't work, basically, and I got killed. Random was able to hold the spot for a little while, but right now we just don't have control. We have Ryuga and Bosna pushing through. There's me right there, doing what we can to try and retake control of the desert. And yeah, that's basically it, you know.
Alright, so you just got a kill from under the middle train there. I've seen that you guys tend to do that a lot, where at least on TDT, where you guys will push down. I think usually people will just retake, like just going straight to Deagle there, but you guys usually go under middle train a lot. And I know there's that famous versus LMG that triple kill. I can't remember if it was you, Monster, that got that.
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah. I remember that. Is that something you're conscious about, or is that just like an area that you're really comfortable playing in?
I really like desert on Trainwreck. That's usually my go-to, just because I feel like being in that position, I can see the whole map and I can kind of control the flow of the match.
Mm-hmm.
And because I can see over to RPG, I see that corner there. I'm right next to Ryuga, who's also pushing up with me. So between the two of us, we're able to hold that whole area. And I just really like that spot. So when I get a chance, I like to, like if we lose desert, I like to push through the bottom, because like you said, if I take the guy out in middle train, it helps whoever's pushing on desert, like drastically. Because then they don't have to try to play whack-a-mole with the guy who's just popping up and down.
Yeah, then it's just like a corner shooting game.
Yeah, exactly.
And while Monster's in that spot, like I'm all the way at the other end of desert, just hard scoping the shit out of out of their end of desert with the foul, and I just literally just sit there the entire game. And anytime they start to push, I'll be like, "Monster, there's one coming," and he'd flip around. We'd both shoot him. Sometimes I'd melt him. Sometimes he'd melt him, and they were pretty much locked down from that point.
Yeah, the teamwork between me and Random on this map was so important.
Yeah.
Every time, like, even if I'm just not looking towards where he is, or like towards the end of the cliff, he was always just, like you said, hard scoping, watching my back, and it helped tremendously when I'm looking back or towards middle train or anything like that.
And anytime they would like push up through like the RPG alleyway, like towards the spawn, I'd be like, "Hey, Monster, I'm not watching you. Give me a second," and I would spin around and shoot down that way, like towards where the sniper is and whatnot. If they push that way, and then I just go back to hard scoping. It worked out pretty well.
It looks like you guys just about have the Deagle right now.
Yeah, yeah, we have pretty much full control right now, which we try to get one below middle train, one on desert, so or, like in middle train. That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Then you got random at the end of the foul. Wezzie's way in the back controlling spawns and fouling, and then we got Bosna over at rocks to help to control that left side of the map, the RPG side, help them from pushing there, and also controlling middle where sniper is.
Right. And do you guys have a preference on this between holding heroes or villain spawn? Because I think the villain side is much better and the spawns are a lot stable on that side. But then of course the RPG spawns up and
Yeah.
for my teams my strategy was hold villain until RPG spawns up, then you're flipping it and then trying to hold hero side.
Yeah, I definitely prefer villains. That was a big thing for our planning for this, is hoping they pick heroes. I think it was their choice for this map.
Mm.
So our big thing was just trying to have a plan for heroes, but hope for villains. Because the way my position is specifically, it's a lot easier being villains, because when you're heroes and you got to push to their side, it's just the spawns are all wonky and it messes everything up. And plus, for on heroes, it's very hard because he can spawn right behind double cover train, right next to where the RPG spawns.
Yeah.
That spawn right there, even though people are in the base and people are at RPG, he can still spawn right between them because there's like a distance gap for that spawn for some reason.
Yeah.
Like you noticed in the beginning of the match, I spawned right there and they were right behind me, two of them. So I was trying to fight off two of them, which, against these guys it's really hard. I was able to take Gwynemax with me with a punch, but can't do much else than that.
The spawns are definitely kind of fucked on this map. That's really the only downside. I think the snow's cool. I don't have trouble seeing.
Right. So once the RPG does come up, are you guys trying to flip over to hero side, or are you just trying to work down the RPG, like that side of the map? Because you can without having hero control, you can just keep flooding down that side and getting the RPG spawns. Right.
Honestly, we didn't even really have a plan for that, I feel like.
Yeah, we had no motivation to push
To
the
leave.
RPG.
Yeah.
Or really even push sniper. I mean, we just kind of did whatever.
Yeah.
Just held our spots, knowing that, okay, they might get 2 kills with the RPG, but we're going to get 4 holding those spots,
Yeah.
and hoping that we're able to cancel out whatever kills they get.
Yeah.
Like right there, Bosna took out Wesker, who was pushing up on us, because the spots that we're holding work so well.
Yeah.
And,
And
we're willing to sacrifice some deaths for more kills,
Yeah, and I feel like RPG is also like decently exposed to the point where Wheezy can pick him off like as he's running to get it and as he's trying
like
to leave.
right up here.
Yeah, like right where he is right now. And Bosna can do the same thing from where his position is, and if he pushes up towards Sniper, I can also shoot him in the side, or even Monster could go into middle train, or Khan, or like there's just a bunch of ways to counter it. And not only that, I feel like this map is pretty wide open, so I feel like the RPG isn't as effective on this map as it is on like Temple or any other map for that matter, because it's just so wide open and you essentially have to snipe people, because if you try to get like super close to somebody, you're more than likely gonna get fucked up.
Right.
So it wasn't a huge concern to get it when it spawned. Oh, look at this epic kill right here. Dude, I've known about this angle for like literally years, like fucking at least 5 years, and I've never ever got the chance to kill somebody with it besides like a level fucking 2 that would just sit in there with the shotgun and just camp. But I've never used that ever in a fucking custom match. But then I finally got to use it right there in the finals of the very last tournament. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's like one of your very last matches.
Yeah.
You were able to use it. So that's crazy how that turned out.
I know, right? Full circle.
Yeah, it's funny. There's so many like little things and kind of cheeky spots and strategies that I've never used, just because they're so impractical or so like specific to when they're useful.
But shit, man. I guess I'll never know when they'll come in handy.
Right.
Wheezy with the laser.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
I
he's
fucking
just
love that guy,
nuts,
man.
Yeah,
I really wish
like
him and I got to do a foul 1v1.
Yeah. I actually really like the makeup of this Team Odyssey because the more I think about it, with Random and Wheezy with fouls, and then Monster U and Ryuga and Bosna are really pretty dominant AK players. Not to
Yeah.
discredit your Monster, but
No, I played a
yeah.
lot of like support positions, I'd say, in this tournament. A lot more
Mhm.
than I've ever have because I've always been like in TDT. I was always up front with Balloon.
Right.
You know, that was
Front
always
line.
just me and Balloon pushing, me and Balloon pushing, and
Yeah.
Glock played the backseat a lot. You know, playing support. Slick played it the most, I'd say, in
Yeah.
TDT. So they weren't able to really showcase the amount of kills that they could get because
Right.
position-wise. So for this last tournament, I knew that what Khan and Bosna can do. So I mean, having them just be up front and do what they do, it was not really a worry of mine. You know, I could just hang back and watch your back, and we'd be fine.
Right. Yeah, that's funny because Slick could be. Because Slick could totally be, or and Glock too, could totally be dominant slayers on almost any team. But
Hmm.
you guys are just so skilled that it's just like, well, maybe you guys should hold down spots.
Yeah, and that's another good point.
So much playing about so much
Yeah,
slaying.
that's another
Kind
good
of fun.
point. Like when Wheezy and I played in Epic, me, him, and Rock Bottom were always at the front lines, just like Monster and Bloom. We were always the ones pushing. So like, it's a really good team when the two top guys on
Yeah,
a really good team are the support players on another team. So
right.
savage. Look at that snipe.
Third time's
Yeah,
a charm.
I was able to showcase my sniper skill a little bit. I mean, I was incredibly rusty with it. Nowhere near as good as I used to be, but
Yeah, that
I
was
was
me with the
able to
foul this tournament.
I was able to showcase it a little bit in some matches.
We're close to that here. 45, 43, 44 now.
Yep, very close match on this one. Had us all kind of nervous, to be honest.
Yeah, we weren't trying to drop any games. Fuck that. Wesker's fucking going off with 17 kills.
Yeah, he wanted to win this one, man. He
Yeah.
was pushing.
Fucking
Every
thirsty.
time on this, even on this video, you can see every time that you see someone get killed or a kill, it's always Wesker's involved somewhere somehow. You know, he's always right in the middle of the map, or he's right there, and you see his name everywhere.
Yeah. I also
I
want to
think
point
he,
out that me using Gabriel Roman on this map was a tactical decision because he's dressed in all white and the map's white as fuck, so I was hoping to not be seen as much.
You were so smart.
Thanks,
we
man.
we did that against Ares, and I used Gabriel Roman against Ares, and I think Bosna and Random did as well. But that
Yeah,
tactic didn't work very well for me. So,
that
I think I was the most seen out of everybody.
was a
So
fight. That was a fight. No, I'm kidding.
when we played this final, I just made sure I did not use that skin. I was like, okay, I'm gonna use Tetrum because I feel confident with that skin, and he still kind of blends in with the rocks and everything. So
Right.
Yeah.
that
Here
was
was
my
a
tactic.
pretty smart play by myself. Um, I'm just chilling here on this box, and like I see that there's two guys in front of me, but I don't want to just immediately pounce and risk not being able to kill them. So I just sit back and I wait until I know I can get a kill, and then I fire. Boom, match over.
Yep,
There we go.
and help Ryuga out as
Yeah,
he went in there and punched the dude. He's a
48,
madman.
47, and Ryoga just runs up there and
yeah, just fucking guns blazing,
crazy.
fucking warrior.
Yeah, he didn't give any fucks, man. He was like, "Oh, I'll kill him. Don't worry."
All right, shout out to Borba there, 7-3,
Oh, wow.
playing very well.
It's his
3-0.
fourth. Yeah, it's going to be the fifth and final map. So
Wow.
go ahead and switch over to
Spoiler
that.
alert.
Cut that.
Yeah,
Cut that.
2 months later, or
Yeah.
actually almost 3 months later.
All
Yeah,
right,
no
yeah.
problem.
Let's jump over to that.
Yep. All
Catch
right,
you guys there.
See ya.